culminating in dramatic fashion, and an opportunity to win another series today against the Marlins. Anibal Sanchez and Livan Hernandez face off next on Masson HD.
It's a great day for baseball.
Well, the fans got their money's worth yesterday. Today, another carbon copy of yesterday's weather here at Nationals Park. Great day for a baseball game. And some mothers on hand to celebrate Mother's Day. And some husbands to plant the kiss right there in the mom's cheek as well. Great to have you with us today as the Nationals try to take the series from the Florida Marlins. I'm Johnny Holiday, in for Bob Carpenter again today with Rob Dibble. We look back yesterday and see the Nationals eking out that 5-4 win. Bullpen again comes in, Rob, and gets the job done.
The bullpen's been tremendous all year, Johnny. I mean, that's one of the bright spots of this team this year. Last year had a lot of problems, but when Batista came in, he shut down the Marlins, got 4 huge outs, and got us to our next guy. That's the bridge to Caps. Tyler Clippard didn't give up the go-ahead home run, but he settled back down and then pitched a great 8th inning, and that got us to the point of the bottom of the 8th when we could score a couple of runs and get the lead. And obviously right there, Caps puts the Caps on that game and wins the ball game, basically saving it. So he's saved 12 of our 16 wins. The bullpen has an ERA under 3, and there you see the wins, third the most in the major leagues as far as the bullpen, the strikeouts, and opponents' batting average against, which is one of the most important things. But to me, Johnny, it's about consistency. They've been doing a consistent job, and when they do get the lead, they hold the lead, they save the games, and that's exactly what they're getting paid to do, is go out there and help this ball club win.
Hey, without that bullpen pitching as well as they have, this ball club wouldn't be 2 games over 500 either.
No, and I mean, if the starting pitchers can get a little bit deeper into games later on in the season, things are going to be even better for this team.
How about Livan Hernandez? This guy goes out to the mound, doesn't throw anything right straight down across the plate.
No, and you know what? He even dropped some LBs for this season. He looks like he's throwing harder than he did when he came over to us at the end of last season, and his command has been impeccable. The way he moves the ball in and out, he's not afraid to throw inside, maybe 86 miles an hour, and then he can change speeds all the way down as low as 63 miles an hour. But the one thing about him, great mechanics, he repeats his delivery well, and then the rest of his game is flawless too.
And this will be his 419th start in the major leagues for Livan. He's won 160 ball games over the years. Very solid performer. And how about Josh Willingham? Went deep last night, also got a triple yesterday. His home run tied the ball game. He'll be right back in that batter's box against Anibal Sanchez today. First pitch in the starting lineup just around the corner. Stay with us. back on Mother's Day at Nationals Park in our nation's capital. From Rob and I, congratulations to moms everywhere watching our ball game today. And best wishes. We hope you have a terrific day, and we hope the Nats can bring you a win today over the Marlins. And very special day. Nancy Brinker, who founded the Susan G. Komen Foundation, each Mother's Day since 2006. She just threw out that first pitch. Players and coaches wear pink wristbands and ribbons and special bases, lineup cards, all produced to commemorate this very special day on Mother's Day. And the players have the chance to show support. Some of them swing pink bats. And some of those bats auctioned off for money for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Here's the Marlins starting lineup today. Chris Coughlin will be in left field leading off. Wes Helms at third today. Hanley Ramirez the shortstop. Jorge Cantu at first. Dan Uggla at second base. And followed by John Baker, who will be doing the catching for the fish. Cody Ross in center. Rookie Brian Peterson, right field, and Anibal Sanchez will be on the mound for the Marlins. And a good look at Livan Hernandez. And against Florida this year, he's won 3 of his last 4 starts against the Marlins since 2007, Ron.
He loves pitching against his old ball club, Johnny. So let's give him a scouting report. Gone fishing, 13-8 against the old team that he started with. He has a rubber arm. He can throw as long as he is as diligent as they come. Finishing touch, this guy is second amongst active pitchers in the major leagues. Roy Halladay is number 1 with complete games. Number 2 is Livan Hernandez.
And defensively, let's take a look at the defense today that you'll see from Jim Riggleman. Butch Rodriguez will catch Hernandez. Adam down at first as always. Adam Kennedy at second. Zimmerman down at third. Ian Desmond, the starting shortstop today. On the outfield will be patrolled by Josh Willingham and Nigel Morgan and Roger Bernardino. And the guys working the ball game today, let's take a look at them. Behind the plate is Jerry Meals, Mark Wegner at first, Ed Iasonia at second base, and Dale Scott will umpire at third.
And I wanted to just say happy Mother's Day to my own mother and my wife's mother, my mother-in-law. She's a breast cancer survivor herself. So this is a wonderful day for all breast cancer survivors.
You're not kidding. And Susan G. Komen does such a great organization, making people so aware of how much money, how much research it still takes to someday, somehow, maybe in our lifetime, find a cure for cancer.
You're here.
As Coughlin steps in to lead things off against the right-handed slants of Lebo. And we're underway at 138. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Fastball, curveball, changeup, slider, cutter. Nothing goes over the middle of the plate when you're facing Livan Hernandez.
Well, not if he can help it, Johnny, because we have seen a few times, very few this season, that when he does throw something in the hitting zone and it's up, it might leave the ballpark. So he wants to keep the ball down, especially in this wind today.
Livan is 4-1 on the year. Coughlin swings and misses. The count. He falls behind, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 0.99 ERA. Only one other pitcher in baseball has a better ERA. That's the Rockies. Jimenez, 0.87.
Oh, and we get to see them in a couple series after we go to New York.
We get them next week, don't you?
We get them next week in Colorado.
Doing some skydiving out there with you on the off day. Line drive down the left field line is foul. Well, let's see what the weather forecast is. Train game time temperature. It's chilly outside. 58. The winds west-northwest at 21. Humidity 33. It is sunny, but it is windy. See the flags. You can tell how much wind's out there. Visit trainsearch.com to locate an independent train dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Even harder to stop a dibble. And the 1-2 foul back. I might just say at the top of our telecast today, last night you looked absolutely marvelous in that baby blue tux. Haven't seen that thing since one of my son-in-laws, Chris Raleigh, when he took my daughter to the high school senior prom, had that baby out with the ruffles on the shirt. He looked dynamite.
Thank you. Thank you. Kind of like Coming to America when Eddie Murphy plays that pastor. That's the exact same tuxedo.
Fouled out of play down the first base line. And some of the things that took place last night. Jim Riggleman was there.
Ryan Zimmerman, the franchise. Nigel Morgan.
Nigel choreographing the outfielders' entrance. Willie Harris.
The catchers.
Pudge and Will. Want to make your plans right now to be with us next year at the Gaylord Resort. It was a wonderful night.
A lot of money raised for the Dream Foundation. She does an awful lot of work in this community.
You guys, how much did the Strasburg jersey go for last night?
Oh, man, I think like
I had
8
the
or
limo
10
pick me up
grand,
to take me
something
home.
like that.
How much?
It's about $8,000 to $10,000 for the Strasburg jersey.
Wow. Count is 1-2 to the left fielder for the Marlins, leading off this ball game, Chris Coghlan. Hernandez misses just outside. Levo on the year. One complete game. That 4-hitter against Milwaukee. He's only walked 11, struck out 13.
I think the Ray Knight T-shirt, though, brought a lot of money in. Women were fighting over it.
Yeah. Has to be washed soon, but it's a good one.
2-2 pitch right here. You be the judge. This looks good enough to be a strike 3 call, but all for naught. We'll do it again.
3 balls, 2 strikes. This is the 10th pitch of the first batter he faces, and a line drive to center.
Wow.
And he gives a leadoff single to Chris Coghlan.
Guy's hitting $184, and Jerry Meals basically gave him the benefit of the doubt on the 2-2 pitch. Thinking, okay, well, if the 184 hitter doesn't swing at it, it can't be a strike. Forgetting that Levon has over 400 starts in his career, and so what does Coghlan do? The next pitch, he gets a base hit.
Gets a base hit and gets the Marlins with their leadoff batter on. In the top of the first, Wes Helms from Gastonia, North Carolina. A lot of Nats fans watching our telecast today on Masson down there. Catches the outside part of the plate. 84 in the gun. No balls in the strike.
Well, and the thing about Levon is he's a great mathematician. He will add and subtract on his pitches, Johnny, all day, up to 86, down to 63, while moving the ball all around the strike zone on the outer limits. Whenever he comes into that edge in the middle of the plate, he's very hittable, and he knows that. So he pitches to contact, but he doesn't want to pitch to too much contact.
And Wes Helms, a good hitter. .355 batting average for the Fish. And he's ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he popped a couple of fastballs in there against one of the best fastball hitting pinch hitters in Major League Baseball, Wes Helms. So Wes is probably thinking now, who knows what might come.
Yeah. Kind of a guessing game when you face Hernandez, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
If you're a hitter. Off-speed pitch popped up down. Adam Dunn fighting the sun. Looks up, he's got it. And there's one down.
Well, and that was a 65-mile-an-hour curveball. He drops it in there, 20 mile an hour off the fastball. The differential is as good as anybody that throws 95. It makes that fastball look that much harder, and he's that much harder to hit, and Adam Dunn catches the foul ball. There it is. See him pulling down on that thing as hard as he can, right elbow to left knee, downward movement, hits the top of the bat, and it's just an easy foul pop-up.
Count number 1 at the top of the first. Hanley Ramirez, 307 average for the Marlins shortstop. And Ramirez 1 for 7 thus far in this series. That's okay. Let's keep him off the bases.
Well, and Jeff is doing our Exmo camera out in center field today. Zach is cutting it up in the truck. So we'll be giving you some different views in slow-mo today.
That slow-mo really is tantalizing when you're watching it. Of course, the batter doesn't have the luxury of watching it the way we do when you slow it down coming in.
Well, and don't quote me on this because I'm not the math major from MIT. Yes. I was told 700 plus frames per second during the day, 500 at night. So that's how quickly that camera sees things, a lot quicker than humans.
1-1.
See these next 2 guys make outs. How about that?
How about the next 3? Ramirez, Cantu, and Ugly.
No, this guy is a national killer. Look at that, capital punishment.
18 home runs against this ball club, 376 average, 53 RBIs. What I like is the graphic at the bottom. This series 1 for 7.
Let's try to keep it that way for the next 4 or 5 at bats.
Devon's 36 1/3 innings of work this year. Giving up 24 hits. Fly ball to Willingham. Ought to have this one easily. Bats up, and there is 2 down. The dangerous Ramirez is gone. And there's 2 down. 1-run games. Nats are 6-3 this year. 3rd best in all of Major League Baseball. Through 30 games last year, this ball club had 5 saves and 14 opportunities. Jorge Cantu, 28 RBIs on 31 hits. 6th best in the Major League categories.
And he will bring up one of those specialty pink bats. Actually, my wife asked me if those bats are different than the ones they normally use. They are not. They are just custom made in pink, only in color.
You know, I guess I better wish my wife, Mary Claire, a happy Mother's Day, too. A mother of 3 daughters and the grandmother of a whole bunch of grandkids, 10.
Well, and my mother, Barbara, back in Connecticut, mother of 6. Can you imagine 6 dibbles? 3 girls and 3 boys?
I can't imagine 2. Really? 6 of them. My congratulations, Mrs. Dibble. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 down in the top of the 1st. Jorge Cantu, 265 average he brings to the plate. Fouls it back. Number 3, 4, and 5 hitters in this lineup, Rob. 6 home runs, 7 home runs, 6 home runs. 28 RBIs, 18, 19. Wow.
If you get on base in front of this lineup, they're going to bring you in. There's one of those 3 guys will drive you in via the home run or some kind of gap shot. Cantu's one of the best this season.
And a shot to right field. Bernardina going back, has a beat on it. Calls it in. And that's it for the Marlins in the top of the 1st. Take a look at those bats. One of pink of significant importance.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love and miss you, and hope to see you soon.
And on this Mother's Day, nice crowd here at the ballpark at Nationals Park. Game 3 of the series. The chance of the Nationals taking their 6th series with a win today. Now let's take a look at Jim Riggleman's lineup card. Nyjer Morgan will step in first, hitting from the left side. Adam Kennedy will bat second. Then comes Ryan Zimmerman, Adam Dunn, Josh Willingham, followed by Pudge Rodriguez, Roger Bernardina, Ian Desmond, and Livan Hernandez. They'll all face the slants today of Anibal Sanchez, who is 1-2 with a 4.06 ERA. And what's he got?
He can throw in the low to mid-90s. He throws all 4 pitches for strikes. Got a great changeup. He was part of that Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell, Hanley Ramirez trade. He was originally drafted by the Red Sox, threw a no-hitter in 2006. So he's a very talented young man. He's just had his ups and downs. He tore his labrum in 2007.
Nyjer Morgan takes Ball inside, 2-1. Niger choreographing the introductions last night for the Nationals outfielders. Looked a little bit like a combination of the Four Tops and the Temptations, with a little bit of Tony Plush thrown in.
We do have a cast of characters on this team.
What a bunch of good guys.
Yes,
and you and Bob are around them all the time, Rob.
Yes. We are very blessed, and there's such a good group of young men and some older men.
You know, Ray and I always talk about we don't see them as much as you guys do because they're on the road and we're in the studio. But Niger gets a base on ball, so the Nats get their leadoff batter on.
Let's give you the scouting report on one Anibal Sanchez. He has straightened things out in his last couple of starts. He's done a really nice job for them. And star-crossed, as I said, in 2006, he threw that no-hitter, and his changeup is one of his best pitches, so watch out. He can throw 95 and then down to the high 70s, so look out for him. His last 3 starts, a 2.3 ERA, 1-1, Johnny. 11 strikeouts and 3 walks. So he has turned his season around. But, I mean, labrums are just as tough as an elbow surgery. It's the cartilage in your shoulder that the ball joint rolls around on. And if you tear that thing up, it's going to be painful for years.
Niger gets his 10th walk of the year. He's on first base. Recovery time from something like that, Rob?
Well, I'm still recovering from mine. I've been out of the game since I had mine in '94. But because my arm was pretty much done after that. It's because it's like cartilage in your knee. People don't realize that if they take some of it out, it's something that wasn't meant to be taken out. And the only way it can properly be fixed is if they sew it up. So if you're lucky enough where they can find it like they weren't with mine, then you're going to be okay. Most guys come back from the labrum. That's like Scott Olson. He's coming back from the labrum surgery. I would say about 12 to 18 months. I mean, you'll feel great immediately. I mean, the first time, and there's Scott Olson, who's recovering from his shoulder injury last year, still. Never really not recovering from it. But the next day, you feel great because they fixed all the damage in there. And the swelling goes down, and you feel great.
Well, that quickly, huh?
Yeah.
Morgan going. Shot to right field by Kennedy. That's in there for a base hit. Niger had to hold up at second. Now he's going to head to third and getting there safely standing up.
Nice job.
So Adam Kennedy gets him down to third.
Well, there we go, manufacturing again, Johnny. Jim Riggleman putting somebody in motion, and then Adam Kennedy gets a nice breaking ball down and in the zone. He's trying to hit behind the runner. Instead, he just gets a nice base hit to right field. So Adam Kennedy doing another nice job, quietly. One of the team leaders on this ball club. We don't talk about him enough. Doesn't have these monstrous statistics, but this guy grinds it out every day, Johnny.
Well, you can tell his resume, what he's done in the past for other ball clubs, especially the Angels.
Well, he's a winner. That's why I'm glad he's here.
There's a lot of winners in that clubhouse, too. So the Nats have 2 on here in the first, and Ryan Zimmerman up for the first time with a .342 batting average. Got a chance to drive in his 16th run of the year with Morgan down at third. And Kennedy at first. Nats have already won 5 series. Be sweet to get this one, some momentum. Heading to New York and Colorado, then St. Louis. We're going to foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And I know it wasn't in our program last night, but we should still thank the Lerner family, Stan Kasten, our team president, and, of course, Mike Rizzo and Jim Riggleman. They have put together a whale of a team and great core of scouting and evaluation people that will take this team into the future. And so very lucky to be a part of this organization.
And Zimmerman fouls it back for strike 2. And as we were talking last night, Rob, it all starts at the top.
Yep, absolutely.
When you got good ownership, good management at the top, it filters down to the rest of the organization. Morgan at third, and Adam Kennedy at first. Nobody out in the bottom of the first at Nationals Park. On a crisp and cool and sunny Mother's Day, 2010. Throw back and Kennedy gets back. Sanchez has been pretty tough his last 3 starts. He's only allowed 5 runs total. No decision against the Giants.
Tough, yeah.
His last time out.
So he's not getting a lot of run support.
No.
Unlike you were talking about Josh Johnson yesterday.
He got a lot of run support. Zimmerman up the middle. Could be two. The second for one. Back to first. He's retired, but Morgan scores. And the Nationals take a 1-0 lead. So Zimmerman bounds into a double play.
Well, he puts the ball up the middle on the ground. And if there wasn't anybody on first, it would still be a RBI because of the double play. It's not an RBI, but he gets the job done, gets an early run in there. Now, hopefully, with 2 outs, Adam can keep it going.
Dunn hit by pitch last night to force in the winning run. As the Nats won that one 5-4 after a 4-2 loss on Friday night.
Look at the shift. They put Ugla way out in right field as a rover. They bring Wes Helms over on the second base side and put Jorge Cantu down the line, and Hanley Ramirez stays at short.
And if I'm Adam, Rob, I'm thinking I'm just going to punch this ball down that third base line.
Well, that's what they want him to do. I mean, a 40 home run.
It stays in the park.
Right, it stays in the park. So you say, basically, go ahead, hit it down left field line, take your single or double, but we don't want you driving a home run out of here.
And that's a base hit. Even though the shift is on, they can't keep him off the base paths.
Beautiful.
How about that? Second hit of the inning for the Nats. And Josh Willingham.
Well, Adam basically swings with one hand right here and gets an outside pitch, and he drives it through the shift. I like the fact that he expanded the zone a little bit. Sometimes he takes those outer half pitches.
Well, the hammer steps in for the first time. Josh Willingham, a triple, a home run, couple of RBIs yesterday. Let's flash back to yesterday. Willingham goes deep.
Well, and it was a huge home run. We were down a run. We needed a way to get back in the ball game, and he led off that inning with the home run. Got us right back in the ball game, tied it up. We eventually win the game. Seems like a different hero every night on this ball club.
Everybody's capable of getting the job done, top to bottom of this order.
And Jim Riggleman will use every one of you on the bench.
Yeah, right.
You better not show up thinking you may have a day off, because you won't.
And if you're a right fielder, that job is still up for grabs.
Yep.
So it's rotation out there, as it is for the Marlins in their right field spot.
Well, right field, center field. Cameron Maven is not solidified center field, so Cody Ross spends a lot of time out in center field.
Ryan Peterson today in right field for the Marlins. 2 balls and a strike to Willingham with a .263 average.
Let's see the defense.
Baker behind the plate, Helms at third, Ramirez the shortstop, Ugla at second. Jorge Cantu at first base, Peterson, Ross, and Coughlin in the outfield for Florida.
Well, some young bucks on the corners. You got a rookie in right and a rookie of the year in left in his second year in the big leagues.
Marlins on the road this year, 7-7 done. That's funny. They're holding Dunn on. I don't think he's going to go. Well, you never know.
It's been a few years since he stole a bunch of bags, but Adam's not one to really
I would
steal
love to
a
see
lot.
video of him playing quarterback, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
Have to ask him next time I see him. Did you run the option?
Can you imagine being like a cornerback or a safety, and all of a sudden Adam Dunn turns it upfield towards you? I'm going home to my mama.
He may be big, but he is gentle, and he is such a nice gentleman.
And generous, too. He was bidding on a lot of the auction stuff for charity last night. And that'll be a nice walk for the hammer.
Now Willingham keeps the inning going.
Adam did not steal a bag last year. He tried. He had one back in 08, one in 07, 9 in 06, Johnny.
9 stolen bases.
And only caught stealing twice. His best year with Cincinnati back in 02, 19 stolen bases, but he was caught 9 times too.
Yeah, but 24 at Dayton though in the minor leagues.
No, he had some serious wheels, but
well, there's no need to.
No, you don't.
Bases when you can swing a bat.
Exactly. You don't want him tearing up a hamstring or hurting a groin or any kind of action like that.
Here's a chance for Pudge Rodriguez to do some damage. Nats have runners at first and second. Yeah, there's 2 down and a run in, and Niger Morgan He led off with a walk. Second walk of the inning now for Sanchez. Yeah, the 0-1. Missed outside. Roger Bernardino on deck, and if needed, he on Desmond. Grounded down to third. Wes Helms will go over and tag out. And the force at third, and that's the Nats first. They take a lead of 1-0 at Nats Park.
A lot of pink today. Pink wristbands, pink bats, pink on the bases. And for Pat Listash, it's very special.
She's doing fine, and it is a special day. She's in remission. She's been in remission for about 4.5 years now, and things are looking up and up. We're going to run in the race on June 5th here in D.C. and try to raise some money for awareness and for a cure for breast cancer. So there's going to be a lot of pink, and deservingly so.
Pat, of course, talking about his wife, Carrie, who has been a great example of surviving and how early detection can take a big difference in your life. Johnny?
And you're exactly right, Debbie. I'll never forget last year when Carrie was so instrumental in giving my family support when our little grandson, Jack Rowley, was battling his brain tumor cancer, and she was consoling us and telling us, and she reached out, and I will never, ever forget that.
Cancer is just so tough. I took my dad 13 years ago with leukemia. I mean, it's just it's a rare, I think, event if cancer has not touched your family. It's just amazing.
Well, Hernandez goes to work in the top of the second. John Baker, and Ross and Peterson. And I'm happy to report after a year, little Jack's doing just great. Rounded down to shortstop. Desmond rifles the throw to first, and there's one down.
And that's the best news any of us could ever have as your grandson.
When you find a little 10-year-old
awesome
kid like that, that's but there's stories, thousands of them like that, and hopefully they can all come out as good a story as little Jack's has so far.
But it also brings out the good in other people.
Oh, yeah.
You were telling us about Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
He was very generous. Can you tell that story?
Yeah, Jeff Gordon was, he does it kind of like under the radar that wherever he goes to race, as Hernandez faces Cody Ross, he donates his plane to take from Thursday to Sunday anybody who's in that particular city he's racing in. If they're battling cancer for any reason, the family has to go somewhere, his plane is available. And it just so happened that when little Jack and my daughter Tracy and her husband Chris were coming back from Connecticut, where he was, Bristol, Connecticut, where he's racing, They were flown back on his plane. They had no idea. And he landed, and he spent about a good 20, 25 minutes with them, pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike.
That's outstanding.
And he does it. He has a hospital for children. But so many of these athletes, as we saw last night.
They don't want any acknowledgement at all.
Last night, we talked to these guys, all of them, for our very special coming up we're going to have on Masson later on about last night's gala. And every man in this team gives back to the community.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's got foundations. Everybody's got, different things that they're involved in that's touched their families. And, a lot of guys don't want any credit for it.
That ball is foul. Down the seats is Cody Ross. The count to Cody is 2-2.
But I just thought some people should hear that about Jeff Gordon, because I've heard negative things over the years about him, and I don't like to believe anything until I see it myself or I meet somebody myself. Sure. That's the one thing I've learned. I've heard so many different things about so many different people. Then you meet somebody and you're like, man, you're nothing like people talk about.
They said that he could not have been nicer, could not have been more gentle, more understanding, more compassionate than he was that day.
Yep.
Came out of left field. Peterson's on deck, the rookie who got his first major league base hit the other night. His first time up at the plate. Ross with a big bat he's using today. He's got the base on ball.
Outside part of the strike zone here by Levon. That's a little bit out. He was trying to run a 2-seam fastball back in from the left side, or the left batter's box.
That'll bring up Brian Peterson, 333 average. First major league base hit Friday night came off Brian Bruni. Agoura, California. That's out there by your place, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, it only took me 5 seasons to get my first big league hit, Johnny. So this young man's quite lucky. It's one of those things you don't really like to talk about. You're 0 for 20 over 4 years.
I got you. Some things are rather sensitive, touch a nerve, do they?
No. It's, I was just.
Pitchers aren't supposed to hit anyhow.
No, and I was overmatched.
1 ball and a strike to Brian Peterson. Had a terrific spring training for the Marlins. Second at bats at 285. Just waiting for his opportunity. Diving back. Here's Ross. Bryant today in right field.
Well, you have a lot of guys that in the last few years the Marlins have brought in via trade. Cameron Maybin was part of that Dontrell Willis and Miguel Cabrera trade, and they're still trying to get him to be the center fielder.
Desmond could be 2. Can't make the play at second, goes to first. No need to have 2 because there's 2 down. And that's the end of the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. That's up 1-0.
Sponsor Luna. This is multi-hit games in the National League Eastern Division. Look at Nationals right there with Niger.
Yeah, look at our 2 guys.
Yeah. How about that? Yvonne, that's got 12.
Yep.
Ryan Harvard with 14.
So Pudge has 12. Nigel Morgan has 11.
How about calling today for the Luna Double? Get your second room of flooring free by calling 877-241-LUNA.
How about the big man from Philly, Ryan Howard, with 14 multi-hit games?
Well, even better than that, how about his contract?
Oh, yeah.
I can handle that for the next, 15 years? What's he locked in there for?
That's like 5 years at $125 million. I apologize.
Could live comfortably, yeah.
$125 million.
Whew. Wow. Roger Bernardino leads off for the Nationals here in the second. Desmond, then Livan Hernandez. Interesting, Rob, when you look at the standings today in the National League East, Philadelphia has only won 2 more ball games than Washington. They're 18-12.
That's a scary thought. We just got to keep winning. Talk about winning series. You know, you're never going to win every game. No one's ever gone 162-0. But you got to try to win a majority of your games, especially at home. Go 650 or above at home and 500 on the road. You got a shot.
And the Nats are 10-8 at home this year. And the club heads to New York after this one tonight. As Bernardino strikes out, becomes Sanchez's first strikeout victim.
And you brought up a great point, though, about Ryan Howard signing. That means that they're going to have trouble signing free agent to be Jason Worth. So this is our home improvement. How much better we're playing at home. Playing very nicely on the road, which we'll be going to after this game. But
home run 16, batting average 281.
And the ERA, and that's the way it should be, a home field advantage. When you come home, you might come off a bad road trip, you want to be able to make it back up at home, make up those games.
You know, you don't like to put too much emphasis on a series this early in the season, but as you look to tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday in New York, there's an opportunity for this ball club to solidify themselves in second place.
Well, the last time we faced the Mets, we took it to them. They were down. They're up now, so it's kind of a measuring stick for you. Early in the year, second week of May, let's see where you're at now as opposed to a month ago. But as I was saying about Ryan Howard signing, that doesn't leave an awful lot of money left over for Jason Worth.
Yes.
And, you know, we have a right field problem. A lot of teams have a right field problem. So Jason Worth, if he doesn't stay in Philly, will look good in 29 other uniforms.
I can visualize him in the white pants and the red shirt playing on Sunday.
Don't tease me, Johnny. He is a terrific player, great guy. And the Dodgers gave up on him maybe a little early when he hurt his wrist years ago.
Ian Desmond.
It's a pretty good pitch by Anibal.
Count is 3-2.
Let's see this on the pitch track. 2-2 pitch. You be the judge. Does that hit the corner? On the edge.
Questionable.
That gives our guy an extra shot.
And the 3-2 delivery. Desmond fouls it off the plate. Ian, as a rookie, he's got 14 RBIs. That's fourth among all the rookies in the National League. Playing well. Extremely well. 13 runs scored, a .253 average coming in this game today. And a check swing down the third baseline. It's going to go
there.
Wes Helms just had to look at it, hoping it would curve to his right. Our left, it did not.
We will take that Mother's Day bat. Good luck single right there on the half swing.
And never went off that line.
Wow. That's outstanding.
You know what Desmond's going to say?
He planned it.
How do you like my bunny?
I planned that.
No, the Nationals have their third hit of the afternoon. And Desmond at first. Livan Hernandez steps in. 1 for 12 this year. One thing about Livan, he can make contact. He's only struck out one time.
He's a heck of an athlete. He reminds me of Rick Russell, that pitched with the Pirates and then the Giants. And a terrific hitter, terrific fielder. You know, he was a little bit larger than most specimens, but he was a terrific athlete. Like Cecil Fielder. You know, Cecil was a big man. Cecil, maybe 6 foot tall, 280, could dunk a basketball, was good at everything.
But Prince is the same way.
Yeah.
Hernandez lays down the bunt. Sanchez will tag him out. But Desmond advances down to second. Nice sacrifice for Hernandez. I told him last night, eres mi jugador favorito, and he said, get out of here.
Well, this is a beautiful bunt right there. You see how casual it looks. He makes things look easy because he's doing it fundamentally perfect. Bending the knees, using the bat as a shock absorber, putting it to where the pitcher has to field it, and not Wes Helms or Cantu, because we've seen what they do when we bunt the ball to them. They usually get a double play out of it. So
Hernandez goes up there, does his job, and Morgan steps in with a runner in scoring position.
Now you need a big 2-out hit by Niger Morgan.
7 RBIs for the National center fielder. And he only won the ball game scored in the first inning. Niger from California, Mill Valley, California, outside of San Francisco.
Was a great hockey player growing up.
Yes, he was.
Yep, had to make a choice on baseball or hockey. We're glad he chose baseball.
Niger with a line drive foul down the seats and off the third base area. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the second. 1-0 Nats lead with 3 hits on the board. The Marlins have 1. On deck is Adam Kennedy. He's 1 for 1 of the ball game with a single. Niger again, same place, same spot, foul. Junior hockey for the Regina Pats of the Western Hockey League at age 16. Give up a skate for the Spikes. I would imagine also, Rob, that he's going to be taking in some hockey games, watching the Capitals play on some nights off. Well, Morgan. Can't believe that. We go to the top of the third, 1-0 Nats. Hold on 1 second. Wait a minute. Not quite.
Nope.
Niger said
Let's do that again.
Fouled that, and here comes
Freddie Gonzalez will argue this as Dale Scott says that it hit the ground before the catcher made the play.
That's what Niger was telling the home plate umpire, Jerry Meals.
Well, another life.
Yes.
Let's see what happens here. This is a good over-the-top breaking ball. Down in the dirt. Doesn't touch it, but it does hit the ground.
So it's a ball and 2 strikes. Another foul back off the bat of Morgan.
Well, the Exmo showed that Niger actually didn't make contact, so if he tags him, he's out. And so I think that should have probably been the 3rd out of the inning. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Desmond at second. Line drive to second. The inning is over. So Morgan lines out. Now we go to the top of the third. 1-0 Nationals. Off to the Rockies for games against Colorado on Thursday night and Friday night, late night starts, as you saw there. And the Nationals took that series, too, from Colorado. So next two ball clubs they face, they have taken the series from each of them. Anibal Sanchez steps in for the first time to face Levine. Sanchez 3 for 9 as a hitter this year. Sanchez from Maracay, Venezuela, 26 years old. This is last year of the ball club, isn't it, Rob? Signed through this year?
Yes.
Bouncing ball to Desmond. Long throw to Dunn. One away. Become a founding member of the Citizen of Natchtown Fan Club today. Members get a ballpark tour ticket. You get team store discounts, special ticket offers, MLB game day audio, and much more. Sign up today. All you have to do is go to natchtown.com. One down, top of the third. And back to the top of the Florida lineup. Coghlan, Helms, and Ramirez. Coghlan has the only base hit off Olivo in this ball game. Leadoff single. Grew up in Tarpon Springs, Florida. Third Marlin to win the National League Rookie of the Year honor. Hanley Ramirez won it in 06, and Dontrell Willis way back in 03. And he's got the second hit of the day off Olivo.
Well, he likes going up the middle on
Sure
Levon.
does.
Well, the Rookie of the Year coming back here. Look at this one finger breaking ball. And it's driven right back up the middle.
So the Marlins with one down get Coghlan back on. And Wes Helms getting a start today at third for the Marlins. Lined off to Kennedy, or rather to Dunn in the first inning. And he's 0 for 1. No home runs, 4 RBIs. And a foul down the right field line. Age 33, I guess he's just glad to be with a ball club, isn't he?
Yes. But he's one of the best pinch hitters in the business, and that will keep you around. Plus, he can play a lot of different positions. So versatility, if you're not an everyday player, keeps you up here.
That's like Willie Harris, right?
It's just like Willie Harris.
Yeah.
You have to be unselfish, too, and Wes is one of the best. Doesn't make a lot of noise when he's not playing. Not that you're happy you're not a starter, but knowing your limitations sometimes, and keeping your mouth closed can get you a lot more credit, I guess, or street cred in baseball than anything. It's the guys who make a big deal over not playing and getting their 500, 600 at bats. Some guys are happy. Look at Matt Stairs. He's been with 12 different teams, still playing, been playing since basically when I retired about 17 years ago. I faced Matt Stairs in an Expos uniform, and he's still playing.
Now, if you tell me you faced Jamie Moyer.
I played in the minor leagues against Jamie Moyer. He's a year older than me.
That's what I mean.
Yes, he's still playing.
He's still
47.
pitching.
That last pitch looked like a strike. Looked like it was in the glove from Pudge as a strike.
Count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Wes Helms. And they're keeping Coughlin close at first base.
No, you know you're old. I mean, all coaches on our staff and a lot of coaches and managers on other staff, I played against them. And now they're all managers and coaches and scouts. So to see Jamie Moyer and Matt Stair still playing is pretty cool.
Oldest pitcher with a complete game. Zimmerman on the Kennedy, on the run.
No, he's off the bag.
First off the bag when the throw got there.
Can't assume a double play, so it's not an error, but still right here, started by Ryan. Nice feed. Adam Kennedy back over, kind of gets taken out by Coughlin. And better catch the ball than let it go by and let Helms go to second. So Adam did the right thing. He knew he wasn't around the bag.
Yep.
Chris Coughlin might need some new threads. Got a hole in your pants, young man.
So there is 2 down. And that'll bring up Hanley Ramirez. National pitchers have been quite successful against him this weekend. Against right-handed pitchers, .354 average for Ramirez, 5th best in the National League. Average always right around 300. No balls and a strike.
Well, he's the reigning batting champion in the National League. He's quite a special young man. Gets better almost every year, kind of like Albert Pujols in St. Louis.
Mr. Franchise with the Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
How about last year? 342 last year?
Yep, 342.
Ooh. Career high in averages and RBIs, 106. And the breaking ball, 2 balls and a strike to the Marlins shortstop. He's only hit 6 home runs thus far this year with a .307 average. Levo's thrown 47 pitches, so far 29 for strikes.
Well,
and a great pitch. Ball. Yeah, great pitch. Popped up. Who's got it? Kennedy fighting the sun, takes it. And Hernandez gets out of a little mini jam as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Levon in control, setting down the Marlins, and the Nats have got a 1.
What's the best advice you've gotten from your mom?
She was quite an athlete, so she's kind of hard on me. But no, I mean, when we were younger, it was just have fun and go out there and learn. I think listen to what people tell you, learn it from everyone you can. And as I got older, I think the most important thing was just kind of go out there and compete and do something to help your team win.
And Ryan, of course, started the Zim Foundation to help raise money to fight MS and find a cure, and that's a disease that his mother continues to battle, and he tells me she is doing well. Johnny?
That's good news. Thank you, Debbie, very much. Visit AFCEA.org, the association for IT pros. We go to the bottom of the third at Nationals Park. Adam Kennedy leads it off. Ryan Zimmerman on deck, and then Adam Dunn. In this 1-0 ball game. And the rubber game of this 3-game series. Got some good pitchers duels, haven't we, Ron?
Yes, we have. They have some outstanding starters. Our men have done a tremendous job. Matt Chico, unfortunately sent back to Double-A, but that's just a numbers game for now.
Kennedy fouls it down the first base side. In talking to him yesterday, Scott Olsen down there, he knew he was only up here for one game. But still, you could see, he would like to stay up here like anybody else would for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Well, he turned a lot of heads. That's the one thing. You know who you can count on now when you have to go back down to the minor leagues and pluck somebody up here to get into the starting rotation. But Doug Slayton got called right up, too, to help out the bullpen. That's logged a lot of innings.
Yeah, from AAA Syracuse, foul back on the play.
And when you're playing 20 games in 20 days, sometimes it's about bodies. It's a body count. Getting healthy guys up here, arms up here. As you said, going to New York, Colorado, St. Louis on this next trip. Every game is important, and every game is going to be a battle.
John Lannon will make his next start in the rotation. That's good news.
That is very good news.
And Marquis goes to Potomac to rehab a little bit.
Yes, he's going down to Potomac. He's going to start rehabilitating and getting that going. Mike Morse is doing well down on his rehabilitation. So, I mean, we've got guys that are getting closer. Ross Detweiler will be coming back. Jordan Zimmerman's coming back. And, of course, Strasburg and Storn are down there somewhere.
Everybody watching the Strasburg watch. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kennedy. Speaking about Matt Chico, 5 innings yesterday without a decision. Only gave up 2 runs and 6 hits. Didn't walk anybody. And struck out 3. First big league appearance since May of 08. And Sanchez loses Kennedy. Major League Baseball and People magazine looking for individuals who make a difference in their community. In this community, there's a lot of them. 30 everyday All-Stars will be honored at the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. And to nominate your favorite All-Star, go to peopleallstars.com. So the Nats get the leadoff batter on. And Kennedy gets the 3rd walk given up by Anibal Sanchez. Ball gets away from Baker. And Kennedy advances down to second in the first pitch.
Adam Kennedy watches this ball just get by Baker. Baker can't find it. He thinks it's in front of him. It went over his back, goes almost all the way to the backstop. So Kennedy, I'm going to look in. Maybe I can get to third.
He thought about it, didn't he?
Always be alert. You have to always be alert.
Rob, you're talking about, it's tough to get to the major league level, whether you're a pitcher or a position player.
It's even tougher
to stay up here once you get up here. Then once you get a taste of it, you don't want to go back down.
Nope, absolutely not.
It's AAA.
And he's been here before, and Matt Chico will be back. And the bottom line is right now you have a very competitive team, a team that could possibly go to the playoffs. And so there's not going to be a lot of messing around and waiting for guys to develop up here any longer. It's, you come up, you do the job, you stay. If you don't, you go right back down. Look at Justin Maxwell. This is a very talented young man, but you know what? You got to come up here and be able to play with the big boys. And you look at the Phillies, you look at the Braves and their struggles right now, but the Marlins are a team that we have to battle tooth and nail every time we play them.
Yep.
The pitching staff is outstanding. Their bullpen's outstanding. They can put some runs up on you.
And after a while, when you've been given so many opportunities, the ball club's patience runs out with you.
Yeah.
And there's always somebody else coming up.
But you got to put up numbers. I mean, the bottom line is, you're getting paid to put up numbers, and when you don't, you got to keep looking until you find a guy that'll consistently do it.
Yep. Count is even to Ryan Zimmerman. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, you look at Adam Dunn, and he might be off to a slow start, but by the end of the year, he'll probably, most definitely be leading this ball club in home runs and RBI. He's done it on every team he's been with, the Reds, now in the Nationals, 8 straight years. And that's just consistent baseball.
And if you use the word consistent, it certainly would apply to the Nationals' third baseman, the All-Star, who will be there again. We hope this year, and of course you can vote for that All-Star selection. 2-2 count. .429 average. It's a pretty good number against with a 2-2 count on you. Nationals scored their only run in the first, and Zimmerman's gone. That's the second strikeout today for Sanchez. Had to bring up Dunn with 1 down.
Well, Sanchez, as I said, has 4 good pitches. Maybe not throwing as hard as he'd like to today. Great curveball right there on the outer half. Great leg break to it. And Zim's a strikeout victim right there. Could not move the runner over with no outs, and so not a productive at bat.
So Adam steps in for the second time. 24 hits thus far for the Nats first baseman. 17 runs scored, 6 doubles. 13 driven in and 6 home runs. Well, the years he had with Cincinnati, my goodness. 46, 40, 40, 32 home runs. Shot to right. That'll be a base hit. Kennedy will turn third. Heading for home. The play at the plate.
Very nice.
Way late. Slides across, and the Nats up 2-0.
That away, Adam. Both Adams.
Yeah.
Adam.
Kennedy scores all the way from second, and Dunn racks up his 14th RBI.
Well, Mr. Holliday, you said hit him where they ain't. He did. He hit it to left field. This is an outside sinker. He goes with it, and he'll take his single RBI right here. And that's just a good piece of hitting.
And the Nats have got a 2-0 lead as Josh Willingham steps in. Willingham had the triple and the game-tying home run yesterday.
Randy St. Clair will take a trip out to the mound.
And the former Nationals pitching coach will talk it over with Anibal Sanchez. As the Nats now have got to him for 4 hits in this ballgame.
Well, another manufactured run, a walk, pass ball, or probably a wild pitch. Gets to second base, strikeout, and then Adam Dunn singles in Adam Kennedy.
Little courtesy call for St. Clair. Sanchez 22 balls, 38 strikes out of his 60 thrown thus far.
Well, and he's averaging 20 pitches per inning right now, which will not keep you in the ball game that long. That's about the 5th inning, a little bit longer, and you're going to be done.
Willingham walked back in the first, his second time up.
Well, it was nice to get Josh Johnson out of there yesterday after 6 innings. You know, I don't just look at our guys only going 5 and 6. It's nice when a guy as quality as Josh Johnson only goes 6. You got to thank Freddie Gonzalez and St. Clair that if he was tired or laboring, hey, thanks for getting that guy out of the game.
Well, let's get this guy out here too.
Would love it.
Adam Dunn at first. Willingham already leads the ball club in RBIs with 19. And Sanchez ahead of the count. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out in the third. And the Nats are up 2-0. Bob Carpenter back with you tomorrow night with Mr. Dibble from Citi Field in New York. And Sanchez racks up his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. And Ivan Rodriguez will come in. How about this pitch, Rob?
0-2 pitch. It's a big breaking ball that floats back over the plate. This is his changeup. And maybe Randy St. Clair said, where's your changeup? It's one of your best pitches. Why haven't you been using it? Maybe because we have so many righties in the lineup today, but right there, that was a changeup that he threw outside, brought it back over the plate.
And delivers to Rodriguez. Ball strike. Pudge came up to the major leagues with Texas way back in 1991. Rangers and the Marlins in 03. Then the Tigers and the Yankees in Houston. Back to Texas, now in Washington.
Well, who's it say more about, him or me, that I faced him? He came up to me yesterday. He's like, I faced you a couple of times back in the American League. That was 1995.
How'd you do against him?
I have no idea. I can look it up, but
yeah. That would be interesting. Go back and look up how you did against Pudge.
All right.
You got your computer there that you rent for every game.
It's a rent-to-own program, you know?
That's right.
Lay
How
away.
many more payments in that computer do you have? That would be interesting.
All right.
I hope Pudge took you right up the middle every time.
Oof.
I bet you he remembers.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Vega Baja, Puerto Rico for Ivan. Hometown?
I played against him a lot in Puerto Rico, I can tell you that, when I played for Caguas. I think he played for he was Santurce or San Juan.
The Puerto Rican League?
Yeah, it was a tremendous league. So many great players down there. Great coaches. I mean, I had Sandy Alomar Sr. was my manager.
Really?
Yep. I had Ed Figueroa as my pitching coach.
Wow.
So, threw to Benito Santiago. I threw to Robbie Alomar's brother, Sandy Alomar Jr., an excellent catcher.
He came up to the major leagues at age 19 years and 6 months and 21 days. Youngest to come up in Major League Baseball, and Rodriguez has struck out. So back-to-back Ks racked up by Sanchez. Nats are up, though, 2-0 at Nationals Park. Jorge Cantu.
Well, let's talk about Jorge Cantu's great defense when he's playing third. Today he's at first, but he has been just robbing us blind. Every time we seem to try to sacrifice someone to second, he fields it, gets a double play. Yesterday, Matt Chico tried it, only to see this, another double play. So Jorge Cantu getting it done on defense and with the stick. And here he is, Johnny.
Speaking of Cantu, stepping in. Marlins first baseman flew out to Bernardina in the first time at bat back in the first inning. Cantu's got 7 home runs this year. And it's incredible. He's had 31 base hits, 28 RBIs off those 31 hits. 1 for 4 with a double in last night's ball game. Levo delivers. 1 ball and a strike. Nationals against the National League East this year, 8-9. 2 games above 500 at home, 2 games above 500 in the standings overall. Got some questions about Rob and how he fared against Benito Santiago when he made his Major League debut. How he fared against Pudge Rodriguez.
I walked him.
Yep, you can email any questions you have or comments at massensports.com. Ask about the Nets.
Nobody wants to hear about me. You can ask about Johnny Holiday's wardrobe from the 60s there when he was a rockin' jock. A DJ back in the day.
Every teen queen's dream.
Yep.
You got it.
Did you ever work against in the same market as like a Wolfman Jack?
No.
When you were in San Francisco, who were you against up in San Francisco?
A lot of guys that weren't as good as I was.
I like to hear that. No Casey Kasems?
Oh, no, Casey. We go back to Cleveland, yeah. Casey was in an opposite station just starting off. No, those were good days. Those were days a long time ago.
When you used to spin the vinyl.
I was spinning the, yeah.
There you go.
Yep, taking folks elbow deep in the ballot bowl. Others are starting, and we were charging. Line drive up the center. Niger coming on. Can he get to it? No. Drops in for a base hit. And Catu leads off with a base hit for the Marlins to start this 4th inning. How about some AT&T Sunday Mother's Day trivia for you? Ugla is Swedish.
I can't believe that. That's finally a one right up. I got to call my mother. Hold on a second.
We have never seen this, as you well know. Can you put that back up there in one more second, Chip?
Oh, man. I'm going to say it's probably for dog.
I'm saying moose.
All right. I'm going to say dog. I got to call my mom.
Oh, man. That's great. That's great. Ugla 0 for 1 with a pop out back in the second.
I hope
to Kennedy.
I hope Dan's parents are not watching today.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the best ones our crews come up with. I love it.
Bounty ball to Desmond. Flips on to Kennedy for 1. Back to Don. He's sick. Beat it out. Ugla showing some good speed going down that line. Stays out of the double play.
Another ground ball by Levo today. Right to Desmond. Nice feed over to Kennedy. Kennedy flicks it over, but the good hustle by Dan Ugla negates the double try.
Yep.
Here's the end. There's the Exmo from center field, as we said. Beautiful shot.
You're not kidding. Good shot there.
At least Jeff's not slacking off today.
Even though it's Mother's Day?
Even though it's Mother's Day. What's Ugla Swedish for?
I just got a text here from the Florida Marlins General Counsel.
That's not funny.
Representing Ugla. One ball to no strikes to John Baker. Baker yet to hit one out this year for Florida. Bounds it right back to Hernandez. Looks to second, throws, and just got it. Has been standing right in the bag, and Hernandez threw a bullet and retires the lead runner. Pretty close, Rod.
Yes, this is very close. A bang-bang play right here. Got it.
Very close.
Levon is always heads into the game. This is the heads-up play. There's the Exmo. Yes, it hits the mitt before the foot hits the bag.
Well, the Nationals continue to get that lead runner off the bases. That's 2 in a row as Cody Ross steps in for the second time. He walked in the second. Hernandez with 59 pitches in the ball game and 38 strikes. First start against the Marlins this year for Levo. 160 career wins. And he gives up his 3rd hit. Line drive to center field, and Ross is on. But with 2 down, that'll bring up Brian Peterson. What's interesting, Rob, he's got Robin Roberts-like numbers. 30 starts, 11 straight seasons.
Well, and I talked about consistency. I mean, some of those years he got beat up an awful lot because he is a pitcher that throws to contact. But you know you can count on him for 200-plus innings and 30 starts a year, and he will have a job as long as he wants one.
In his best year in the major leagues, back with the Giants when he won 17 in 2000. 15 to this franchise back in 03, and again, first year of baseball back in Washington back in 05, he won 15 games here. And he's got already in the books this year 4 of the Nationals 16. No ball and a strike to Peterson.
And there are some years too. Innings pitched 240, 234, 255, 246. I mean, he had some of the highest innings totals over the last 10 years of any pitcher in the game.
Bounding ball to second. Kennedy should have the easy play to Dunn. He gets out of trouble again. So the Marlins are gone as Lebo continues to put up goose eggs against Florida.
W takes it.
Yeah. Well, the Nationals have a 2-0 lead in this ball game. Niger led off the game with a walk for the Nationals and scored the first run of the ball game for Washington. And that's been another one on the board in the third inning. Hernandez, current ERA is down to 0.89. Adam Dunn's gone 2 for 2 with an RBI.
Adam Dunn, base hit the first at bat, splits that shift, and then a huge RBI single to plate Adam Kennedy. So it is 2-0, and Adam Dunn having a very nice multi-hit game.
Adam tossing a couple of balls up there.
Yep, making some friends.
Oh, yeah. And those boys will go home, and they will never, ever forget this day. I got a ball from Adam Dunn. You know what? Some gum manufacturer's got to sign him to a contract, because he's working in that bubble gum all the time. Bernardino lays down the bunt. Can they make the play on him? He's got the speed. Just got him at first base. With Bernardino out, and a nice play by Wes Helms at third. Cantu's out of there, but Wes Helms hasn't missed a beat either at third base.
Yep, Cantu's on the other end of this play at first, but Wes Helms, as we said, very good pinch hitter, very good versatile player. Came up with the Braves as a third baseman, and he still can get in there and get that play done. Bernardino's got some wheels.
Ian Desmond fouls off his first pitch from Anibal Sanchez. Back in the screen, no balls and one strike. Friday night it was 4-2 Florida. Yesterday 5-4 Nationals. Today it's Nats throwing a shutout 2-0 behind Lilo Hernandez. Nats as a team with a batting average of 253. Good bullpen numbers this year. Good starting pitchers numbers.
Well, this team only goes as far as its pitching staff takes them.
Desmond deep in the hole to make the play. Ramirez long throw across. Didn't get him. Base hit for Ian Desmond. Had to go deep in the hole. Ramirez could get to the ball, but not enough. Couldn't set though, Rod, and throw it.
Well, Ian will take these two infield singles. The first one a swinging bunt. This one just straight hustle. And one of the better shortstop arms in baseball right there, and Hanley Ramirez. You saw how he tightened up and quickened up on the throw, too. Threw it like a catcher. Desmond just beat it out.
And the Nats have finally got their 5th base hit of this game. Anibal Sanchez from the stretch delivers to Hernandez. Squares off the bunt. Had Helms coming in full speed. Pulls the bat back. And it's no balls and 1 strike.
Levon does have 9 home runs in his career.
9 more than you?
Way more than me.
9 more than me.
Oh, yeah.
Roger Bernardino. You talk about speed in the outfield when he's in right field or Willie Harris is out there. Lebo, great bunt. He will stop, be tagged out by Sanchez. He's gone, but he got the job done. He puts Desmond down at second in scoring position. Now the AT&T Trivia question of the day. Argument is
Swedish for
moose, owl, dog, or fox?
I'm going to say dog.
Okay. I'm going to go moose.
Owl. We're both wrong.
Would have never known. Haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it, have you?
Well, no, my mom's 100% Swedish, but I'm half Swedish, so my mom's probably not happy today.
Isn't it ugly?
Robert, I taught you better than that. I don't remember Swedish mom. Just that my mom's Swedish meatballs were outstanding. Loved them.
One that tries to go opposite field, barely foul down the left field line.
Levon Hernandez now has 102 sacrifices in his career. This is just foul down the left field line.
Miser, boy, he's a tough kid, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
a great kid, but he's all serious once he puts that uniform on. The average of 272. Driven in 7 runs, stole 6 bases, and loves playing in Washington, D.C. Loves the fans. Foul back again out of play into the Nationals dugout. Johnny Holiday along with Rob Dibble today. Bob Carpenter back with the ball club tomorrow night. We're at Nationals Park wishing every single mother happy Mother's Day from all of us at Masson and the Washington Nationals. Debbie Taylor's with us as well. After the ball game, it'll be Ray Knight, Byron Kerb, and that's extra post game. And we hope you're enjoying this Sunday wherever you may be.
Oh, that's smart.
Right in there. Didn't flinch at all, and Morgan hit by the pitch. On for the 2nd time today after a walk in the first.
It still hurts in Exmo, 90 miles an hour in the ribs. Ay, caramba. And there's not a lot of body fat on that young man, so it's all right. Don't rub it. Anibal Sanchez was trying to come in. He tried to come in a couple of times, and they don't want Nigel Morgan just slapping a hit to left and Desmond scoring the 3rd run of this ball game.
And the Nats now with 2 down. They got Desmond at second, Morgan at first base. And Adam Kennedy, who scored a run after he walked in the 3rd, up for the 3rd time. Base hit in the 1st for the Nats second baseman. to center field. Drifting back is Cody Ross. Lost it, then got it, and finally makes the catch. Thought for a moment there might have been 2 outs. He realizes it's 3, and the Nats still up 2-0.
On a pass ball, and then you get a nice single by Adam Dunn. You're definitely getting some things manufactured, but it's also great defense has kept us in this ball game. Guys continually making plays behind Levon, and it's a nice solid team effort once again. Levon knows he has to pitch to contact, not going to strike out a lot of guys, sometimes gets on base, gets some people on base, but he erases them with a lot of double plays and a lot of great defensive plays. So it's you know, partly his success this year. You have to give it to the improved defense of the Nationals.
Well, you've seen Levo just dazzle the opposing batters game in and game out this year, and he's doing the same thing today to Florida. Just when they think they have an opportunity, he's able to rise up and set them down. He's allowed only 4 hits in this ball game, 65 pitches, 43 strikes. And out about Sanchez will try to get a base hit. Bounder back to Levo. Tosses on to Dunn. 1 down. In the top of the 5th.
Well, and that's another thing, too, that we talked about. Does everything well besides pitch. He feels his position. He can bunt. He can hit. Right there. Picks off a ball that might have been a tough play for the shortstop up the middle. And he takes the pitcher out himself.
And there's 1 away as we go back to the top of the Marlins order. Chris Coghlan, 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. Finally got his average all the way up to 200.
So he's off the interstate.
Yes.
Very happy.
And the pitch is outside. Tuesday, 2 runs, 5 hits, and a 6-3 win over Atlanta for Levo. 5 in the 3rd innings. Walked 5, which is it's got to be a season high, isn't it? I don't think he's won that many all year. Yep. 1 earned run. And like any pitcher, the longer he goes, the stronger he gets. And the more guessing game that the Marlins are trying to play to solve him. 83 in the gun, the last pitch to Coghlan. Rob, when you look at the pitcher and the catcher in the mound right now with Hernandez and Rodriguez, the combination of experience, longevity, and all-around knowledge of the game of baseball is almost unmatched.
Absolutely. Their experience exceeds pretty much everybody else in the major leagues, other than guys like Jamie Moyer and some of the guys that have been around for an awfully long time. But, I mean, they both won world championships for the Marlins.
And you look at Levon in 1997 and then Pudge in 2003. It's what they can bring besides their baseball acumen to the table that counts. And, you know, even before the game yesterday, listening to Ivan Rodriguez talk to one of the players after 20 years, caring as much as he does about everybody else's career and mental state of mind, it's pretty impressive.
Bounded to Desmond, deflected by Hernandez. Great play to first base, got him. A heck of a play by Dunn to keep his foot in the bag.
That is part of doing the job. Ball hit back up the middle. Great mechanics put you in a position to field your position, and he will knock this ball down. He can't catch it, but he slows it down for Desmond just enough, and then Desmond makes a great play and a great stretch on the other end by Adam Dunn.
And how tough a play is that to make with Desmond going full speed to his left?
Well, it's one of the toughest plays in baseball. I mean, obviously going towards third base, that's a long throw, but that one you have to throw away from your body, kind of like a quarterback, going to the left side and then having to throw to the right side. Same thing, same principle. Your body, all that inertia going one way, and then you got to come back and throw it the other way. Not easy to do, and then got a lot of help from Adam Dunn.
Dunn's got to use all of his 6'5" to stretch out to make that out.
One more time, going the wrong way, throws it, tries to stop his momentum from going one way. Adam Dunn has to go way up the line and use all of his 6'6" reach and still keep his foot on the bag. Beautiful by Exmo.
And there's 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. So Hernandez works against Wes Helms and strikes him out. Strikeout number 1 today. The Marlins are gone in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 Nats lead. Josh Willingham, the first 3 Nat batters to face Anibal Sanchez here in the Nationals 5th with a 2-0 lead. And it shows bunt, takes the outside corner with a strike. Zim runner up to the Rookie of the Year award when he came up to Hanley Ramirez.
We could use a few more runs, Johnny.
Yes.
It's about that time that one of these big men hits the ball a long way.
I'd feel comfortable about, say, 5 more.
Oh, I feel very comfortable.
You'll take 2.
I'll take 2.
These have been good pitching battles this weekend.
Wow, the Marlins have an excellent pitching staff. Sanchez, when he's right, throwing in the low 90s. Volstad's been excellent. Josh Johnson, you know what you're getting with them. They've got some guys that can put you down.
Adelano and Olsen and Stammen, the three pitchers for New York, beginning tomorrow night.
Ricky Nolasco. Nate Robertson's done a very nice job. 2-3 with a 4.8 coming over from the Tigers. I don't know if he's worth the whole $10 million, but on that staff, you just have to make sure you can go out there every fifth day and try to get 6-7 innings.
Well, so far, Levo's got 5 innings in the books.
The endangered species in baseball, the complete game. Not many teams do it any longer.
Will it ever come back to that, you think? Or too much specialization?
Well, you just have so much money invested in these arms and these men, and it's a little bit different. You know, when they didn't care whether or not you came back to play the next year, they'd send you out there every fourth day. Now that they have a lot of money invested in you up front, they try to protect their investment. It's just the way the game has evolved. I think they could get back there. I know Nolan Ryan, the president down in Texas, with the Rangers, trying to get the minor league pitchers to think one more inning every start.
Zimmerman, wide drive to Ramirez, got it at short, and this one down. Well, your child can be part of the coolest club in Natstown. That's the 2010 Junior Nationals Kids Club. It's full of great benefits for youngsters ages 12 and younger. 2 membership levels, the free rookie membership and the MVP membership for only $15. Register now at nationals.com/juniornats. One down for Adam Dunn to step in for the second time. And I bet you if you ask guys like Hernandez, when they take to the mound every start they get, if their mindset isn't going 9, I bet he says mine would be to go 9. He'd like to throw.
There's Adam's mother.
Yeah.
Pat. Hello, Pat.
Happy Mother's Day, Pat.
Happy Mother's Day. Thanks for teaching your son so much.
And what a great line that Adam just gave Debbie. The thing he learned the most from his mom was patience.
Well, and manners, too. He's one of the most well-mannered young men.
That he is.
Many other of those guys in that clubhouse, too.
And the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Dunn. And it's 1-2. Always talk about his football attributes. Signed to play for University of Texas. Big shift, as you can see. There's nobody down behind third base.
Yeah, but you want him to try to drop a ball down there.
Yeah. That's better than putting it up there off the white scoreboard walk. Side. From our left field camera, looking right down the line. Check swing, and he did not go. So the count full to Dunn. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got a couple of hits today. And the RBI.
From the side, no, did not go.
1 away here in the 5th inning. And the 3-2 pitch from Sanchez. Fouled off down the right. Nice play by dropped it.
Dan Radisson. He had good hands years ago.
And some work down in that Florida Marlins bullpen. We've seen Pinto, we've seen Badenhop, we've seen Hensley and Sanchez. And Nunez already worked this weekend. 6 hits to left, 5 to center, 14 to right. Every time he gets a base hit. And the 3-2. Line drive, base. Got right past a diving Dan Ugla. And Dunn's going to try for 2. Here's the throw.
Big man!
And safely.
Woo!
That's the second time he's got a base hit when the shift is on.
And his mother taught him how to run. Run that option, Johnny.
Yes, sirree.
That might be it for him now. I need some oxygen. No.
Working on that gum.
Yep, he's working that gum. He works the shift. He gets it by the owl, diving Dan Ugla right here.
And he is ticked that he missed it, but Adam Dunn doesn't stop there. You want to shift? Well, I'll shift that. I shifted it into 6th gear and overdrive and got the second.
Perfect slide.
Oh, yes, textbook.
Always perfect when you come up standing in the bag.
Oh, we need someone to drive him in.
And that someone would be Joshua again. Takes a strike on the outside corner of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. 1 out. That's with a 2-0 lead. And a chance to take 2 out of 3 from the Fish here in the nation's capital, which would be their 6th series win of this season. Nobody loosening up in the Nationals bullpen. Not the way Hernandez is throwing. With a neat 4-hitter. And the 1-1 to Josh. 5 for ball 2.
Well, 2 more pitches and Anibal will be at 100. And he's not even in the 5th inning. And as we told you back in the 3rd, averaging 20 pitches per inning will get you out of ball games by the 5th or 6th inning, especially in today's standards. It's just too many pitches and too much work too quick.
Willingham takes outside, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Josh walked in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd. His homer last night in the 7th yesterday tied the game at 4. Down at 2nd. And he lost Willingham. So Pudge Rodriguez with a runner in scoring position. And that just may be it as Freddie Gonzalez makes the trip out to the mound again. That'd be all she wrote for Sanchez.
It is.
So Willingham on base 2 of the 3 times he's come up to the dish today. We'll be back in just a moment. The Florida Marlins on this, the 3rd game of the series. National fans enjoying the ball game today on Mother's Day here at the park. Let's join our friends at DynCorp for International, our troop salute, and saluting our troops, and they're thanking them for all the wonderful things that they do here and abroad. Something they do every single day at Nationals Park. They got our injured servicemen and women from Walter Reed and from Bethesda Naval Hospital here as their guest. Always available to have them come to a ball game. Chris LaRue comes on, Rob. From where is his hometown in Canada?
Michigan.
Michigan, that's right. But he went to school in South Carolina. He explained that to me. He wanted to get out of the cold of Canada, didn't he?
It was cold in Michigan. And he wasn't much for hockey, so they said, let's move our son and their whole family down to
Rock Hill.
Born in Montreal, though. See, he's got the 6 degrees of the Expos here.
And he spent most of last year AA Jacksonville, 5-3 with them last season. So the Marlins go to the bullpen as Sanchez's day is over. Broken back grounded to short. Ramirez on for 1 and to the first, and it's a double play, and that takes care of the inning. It comes in, 1 pitch, induces the double play, and we go to the 6th with a 2-0 Nats lead. Done a pretty good job, Rob, against Hanley Ramirez.
We've been keeping the all-star and batting champ in check. Look at the big breaking ball. He's off balance. And when you have hitters off balance, and now it's all upper body, he takes the lower half out once again. Beautiful shot by Exmo.
And he is 1 for 9 in this series.
It's not about speed, location, changing speeds. There's the distribution today on Livan Hernandez's outs. Keep it on the ground in the wind.
Ball popped up behind the first base dugout, foul.
That was another off-balance swing where his butt is going in the dugout where the Marlins are, and the bat is going towards our dugout. And that's changing speeds and locations and keeping the ball in and keeping it down, and frustrating hitters will make them take those bad swings.
1 ball and 1 strike. The best shortstops in the game, Hanley Ramirez. Drive to right. That one's going way back, and it's gone. Ramirez gets his 6th home run of the year, and that takes care of Hernandez's shutout. Bernardina just turned and looked at that one, Rod.
Well, we talked about that Livan pitches to contact. And Hanley Ramirez frustrated for almost this entire series. You can never let your guard down. Looks like he drops down a little bit to throw this breaking ball up in the zone. And that kid is amazing. Man.
His numbers against the ball club, the Nationals, is incredible.
19th home run against this ball club.
Needless to say, more success against Washington than anybody else. Jorge Cantu with a fly to left field. Willingham trying to battle the wall, and that was foul.
Well, he knew he was trying to get him to right, to go to right, to go to right, and that time, too much of the plate
too high in the air. And Hanley Ramirez unloads that sucker to right field. It is not easy to go deep right there, right-handed.
No shortstop in the major leagues has hit more home runs than Ramirez has since way back in 2006. 110 have gone out of the ballparks.
And he doesn't play in a hitter-friendly ballpark in Florida, by the way. Yes, down the left field line, but some of the biggest gaps in Major League Baseball now with the Marlins. That makes that even more impressive.
New ballpark should be a little more friendly, shouldn't it, for hitters?
It should be, especially with the roof closed. I mean, when it's humid and the ball's not flying at night, tough to hit it out of that Florida stadium.
Foul ball to Zimmerman, takes it, throws it up to the stands to a fan.
I'm pretty sure, I mean, if you look at Yankee Stadium, which, by the way, the new Yankee Stadium not yielding as many home runs this season. I'm sure they'll have shortened fences, especially in the gaps, since it'll be a baseball-only stadium.
You know, the 3, 4, 5 hitters in this Marlins lineup, tough to face. After Ramirez, you get Cantu that you see right now, then you get Ugla. Cantu, third in the major leagues on RBI, 27. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Down to the second. Kennedy's got it to Dunn, and there's 1 down. That'll bring up Dan Ugla. You can bring your family out to Nats Park. Sunday Family Fun Pack ticket includes a seat, a hot dog, some chips, and a soda for only $14. Visit nationals.com/kids to purchase your family Fun Pack tickets. So Cantu retired. Kennedy on to Dunn, 4-3. And Ugla steps in. Reached in the fielder's choice back in the 4th and popped up to Kennedy in the 2nd. And Hernandez delivers.
Well, the only blemish today for Levon, that home run. But that last at-bat by Cantu shows you how deceptive and how good Levon throws the ball. That was an excuse-me swing. He tried to pull his bat back. It was too late. And hit a weak ground ball to second. We'll take that every time.
Every time.
But you have to go up there. You're looking for an 86-mile-an-hour fastball, and he'll drop 63 on you, 78 on you. I mean, he changes speeds with every pitch. That's what's making him tough.
And he blows that 86-mile-an-hour heater right past him.
And just when you start sitting going,
I know.
Is this going to be 70? Is this going to be 75?
86.
Yep, 86. This is a top end on his speed chart.
You know, that was, Rob, that's one of those, hey, take this, okay? Here's the 2-2 to Dan Ugla. Down to the Zimmerman, going to his left. Fires to Dunn, tags him, and there's 2 down.
Beautiful. Well,
can't get enough for Ryan Zimmerman at third.
No, you cannot. And it was a fastball in, even though he gave up the home run to Ramirez. Puts it right behind him, comes right back to work. He gets Ugla a jam shot, and Ugla coming back to the bench, and he's squeezing his right hand because that hurt.
And with nobody on, John Baker, the Marlins catcher, steps in. Fielder's choice and bounded out to short. And Hernandez delivers outside for ball 1.
And the new guy, Doug Slayton, will get loose.
Well, Slayton, 17 innings, scoreless innings, and 11 appearances with Syracuse.
That'll get you called.
Only gave up 11 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 17. That gets their attention real quick.
17 to 1 strikeout to walk ratio. That'll get their attention.
Doug Slayton, 30 years old.
Pretty close.
And Tyler Walker also loosening up. Slayton on your left and Walker on your right.
Slayton's not a little guy either. What is he, 6'4"?
Big dude.
I think we had him dazzled last night as the pitch. 3 balls and a strike. You and I doing that gala thing last night, and I think people didn't realize how big you were because they saw I was 6'3", and you were.
I'm about 7 feet.
You're like 6'8", 6'9", or so. With the makeup on, you're like 6'9".
I look just like Herman Munster with the makeup on.
Here's Brian Sanchez down in the Marlins bullpen. And Badenhop. 3 balls and 2 strikes to John Baker. That's up 2-1 in the 6th inning. And a shot to left field, foul. By about 6 feet. And Baker comes right back to the plate. Well, Chili's, as you know, on a cold day like today, a little chilly day, it's all in the preparation. And it tastes good about now. John Baker started the season, got hits in 7 of his first 8 games for the Marlins. Average below 250 at 246. And a called third strike, and Baker looks. And Hernandez racks up strikeout number 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th in a 2-1 ball game.
I wish you were here, sweetheart, but I know you're watching, baby. I love you and I miss you, and thanks for pushing me out.
Not exactly how they're sure to take that.
Yeah.
Thanks for pushing me out.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, Screech. Yeah, Screech has his mom here.
His mom is here, yes.
And you got to push those kids out of the nest. Get out of here.
Can't stay around the house all the time, can you?
Yep.
There's Tony Plush, the mayor of, as he called center field, Morgantown. Don't come in Morgantown with a hit. Into the bottom of the 6th we go with a 2-1 lead for the Nationals. Roger Bernardino will lead it off. And Bernardino today, one strikeout back in the 2nd and a runner the 3rd and the 4th.
Roger hitting 185 down on the interstate. Just haven't been able to figure out right field so far this year. That's one of our question marks.
And Chris LaRue came on last inning, staying out there for the Fish. First and second, base hit. Nice way to start the 6th inning with his first hit of the afternoon.
Well, first couple of swings, he's stepping in the bucket. That time he stayed right down on that breaking ball. Very nicely done. Keep that head down. You got to kind of keep that butt in there. Keep the front shoulder in.
Ian Desmond's had a perfect day. 2 for 2. John Baker wants to go out and talk to Chris LaRue. Desmond career-wise against this ball club, 11 for 21. Wow.
Oh,
and this year he is 5 for 12. No. Ian Desmond likes what he sees from these Marlin pitchers. The leadoff base hit from Bernardino. LaRue comes inside. Somebody just sent me a photograph of you and me and Debbie from last night's gala, Rob, and look how beautiful she looked.
Debbie looks fantastic. Never better.
Go to first, and Bernardino's back. One ball and no strikes. And the count even up at 1-1. Against San Diego, LaRue fanned 4 Padres. That's his career high coming out of the bullpen. Last appearance against the Giants, won an inning, 3 hits, 3 runs. Got tagged pretty good by San Francisco.
Oh!
Ball gets away from Baker.
This is getting back to our right field situation. We've used 6 different players out in right field this year. Grand total of a 153 batting average, 4 home runs, and 15 driven in. You know who our best right fielder is average-wise? Christian Guzman. But Willie Harris has the most power.
But he hasn't played out there that much, has he?
No, 3 games, 7 plate appearances. But Willie Harris, 3 homers, 15 driven in.
Way to break it down, Dibs. That's good.
There's Christian.
He's waiting for his opportunity.
It's like a cobra waiting to strike.
And one thing you can be sure about Jim Riggleman, the way that he manages the ball play, he's going to put the guys out there. Down to the second. Ugly to short to Ramirez. Back on the first. The count 2. It's a double play. And the Nats have 2 down here in the 6th.
Let's see how Mr. Chris LaRue pitches to one Ian Desmond here. The 0-0 sinking fastball. Ball comes back with a 4-seam fastball. Another 4-seam fastball in the dirt. Ball 2. Gets the changeup in there. And then he throws a nice slider, 87, and gets the 4-6-3 double play, erasing the threat.
So Levan Hernandez steps in, nobody on, and 2 down. And he's got a 2-1 lead. And will face Chris LaRue.
I was just told that LaRue means red-haired in French.
Oui.
But I don't know if that intel is correct. See, some people will quote me on certain things, and that's not coming from me. I have some information specialists around here.
How about Hernandez? A shot to center field, but Cody Ross drifting back. And pulls it in for the out, and that's out number 3. And the Nationals are retired as we go to the top of the 7th with a 2-1 lead for Hernandez.
Levon Hernandez getting it done. Off balance swing right there. Fields his position. Fires out. Gets the owl at second base. Dan Ugla. There's the pitcher weakly grounding back to him. And then this is when he's on his game. Gets you way behind on strikes and then feeds you some nice fastballs. And you take them for strike three.
Innings pitched the first inning and the sixth were the most Hernandez threw to the plate.
Well, this could be his last inning, John. He's up to 96. That was number 97 pitches on the day. Trying to get through 7 innings.
And there are a couple of Nationals loosening up out in that bullpen, left-hander and right-hander. Hernandez delivers. Cody Ross steps in to lead off this Florida 7. So Burnett on the left and Tyler Walker on the right. Hernandez pitch count. This will be the 99th of this game. And a foul down the right field line. They're going to miss you and Bob for my golf tournament coming up May 24th at Bretton Woods for the Youth Leadership Foundation.
I apologize.
I know you're on the road.
Tell me where I can send the check.
Well, I'd rather have you give it to me personally. I don't want to have it to go. Could be lost in the mail. We got a whole bunch of terrific celebrities. If you'd like to play with Ray Knight, or Rick Dempsey,
Brooks Robinson,
Jimmy Patsos, Tony Roberts, Steve Buckhantz, Bobby Mitchell, Frank Herzog, the list goes on and on. Tom Matty, Chick Hernandez, Larry Brown. 202-363-4022. This is our 4th annual celebrity golf tournament, May 24th, Bretton Woods. And you can go to www.helpingkids.org. Give you all the information. Foul down the left field line as Ross stays alive. And the count is 1-2.
Cody Ross wasn't playing that game on the 63-mile-an-hour breaking ball. He killed it. But, you know, if you hit it like that, sometimes it's way foul. Here's Cody Ross. His eyes got as big as, I guess, coffee saucers. And
like a grapefruit.
Wham! Ah, it was only 63.
Ross has walked and has a base hit. Goes right field, and that's going to be foul way up in the seats. 21,299 watching this ball game tonight. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Lebo delivers. Just missed. And it's 2-2. Play Hensley down to that Florida bullpen. Lebo has given up 5 hits in this ball game. The lone run from Andy Ramirez, 7th homer of the season last inning to make it a 2-1 game. And a pop up down the right side and no play. It's up in the seats.
What do you think if they played with pink baseballs on Mother's Day?
Anything, my opinion, anything to help promote
breast cancer awareness, right?
Yeah, if it's going to help, absolutely.
I think the hitters might whine.
Probably.
Maybe they might like it more. Maybe they can see the ball better. They tried yellow baseballs years ago at night.
Yeah, how'd that work out? Not well.
We play softball with yellow softballs.
Yeah,
actually can see it better at night.
Well, golf's
last pitch.
Got the balls too. They're different colors. Sure.
Nice little sinking fastball, 86. Looked pretty good from up here.
Yeah, and Ross with the count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 8. A shot right back to Lebo.
Beautiful. Well done, my friend. Yes, sir.
Cody Ross out number 1 in the 7th. He can pitch, he can swing a bat, and he can field.
On pitch number 11 of this at bat, Cody Ross, 1 hopper back to Levo. And just watch how smooth he is. He's like, nothing. I had it planned like that the whole time. He is smooth.
You talk about Mr. Casual, huh?
He makes it look casual. He knows what he's doing.
Yep. We're going to drive to right. Elijah Morgan got a beat in this one, and there's 2 down in the 7th inning. Peterson flies out to Morgan. 2 up and 2 down in the 7th. And the Marlins with Cameron Maben coming out swinging the bat. That means LaRue is done. So Cameron Maben steps in as a pinch hitter.
So 5 outs for LaRue. 1 hit. He can hit the showers.
Maben last night 0 for 2 against the Nats. It's 241 right-handed. Recalled August 31st last year after they're down in New Orleans. And one of those guys that's had the opportunity to nail down a starting spot. Got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and you're right. You're not going to get too many more opportunities.
And late on that one. Strikeout number 3 for Levo. And the Nationals go to the bottom of the 7th. They've got a 2-1 lead over the Florida Marlins. And Levo reaching back for a little something extra on this one.
Well, he took
A 2-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Coming up tomorrow night on Mass and HD. Nationals opening up a series in New York against the Mets at Citi Field. Remember, they took that series from New York earlier this year. John Maine, 1-1 of the year, 5.97 ERA against the Nats. He's 8-3 with a 4.20 ERA. And Luis Adelano, 2-0 record, 4.67 is ERA. Coverage beginning at 6:30. That's extra. Brought to you by your Washington Ford dealer. There's Adelano and there's Maine. ERA 4.67 and 5.97 for Maine. And Luis not disappointing anybody since he was brought up. 10 walks and 6 strikeouts. And Clay Hensley will come on now for the Marlins as we go to the bottom of the 7th here at Nationals Park. Last appearance, 2/3 of an inning for Hensley against the Nats on Friday night. Gave off the bereavement list on May the 4th, and 7 strikeouts against the Nationals back in April.
Lost his father unexpectedly, and very sad. So our condolences to the Hensley family.
Hensley facing to lead off this 7th inning, Nyjer Morgan. A tight ball game, 2-1, Washington leading it. Hensley's won 16 games at the big league level. As a starter, 13. He was a starter, that's right.
Yeah, he was a starter on San Diego. I mean, our own Matt Capps, he lost his father this offseason.
Morgan swings and misses. Catcher lost it for a moment. Baker picks it up, and Nyjer is retired. And a strikeout to start the 7th inning. Keep in mind, voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game to be held in Anaheim. Help send your favorite National to this year's All-Star Game. You can vote up to 25 times at nationals.com. We do suggest you vote early, and we do suggest you vote often. Vote today at nationals.com.
Well, Clay Hensley has an excellent changeup, and that's what he got Nyjer with that time. He came in and faced us down in Florida. 7 strikeouts. Like our own Tyler Clippard, that fastball changeup combination is devastating when he's on.
Not a big guy. He's only 5'11", weighs 188 pounds. Born in Tomball, Texas. Living out in California.
The Marlins are going to be on their way to Chicago, play the Cubbies, as we go to New York to face the Mets.
You like Citi Field, Ron?
Love Citi Field. Listen, I wasn't a fan of Shea, so Shea was a nightmare for me as a player. Citi Field is gorgeous. It's a nice pitcher's park. It's, you know, it's cavernous out to right field. For righties trying to go to right field. And the ball goes to the
catcher from Baker.
Makes a nice play on that.
So Hensley comes out of the bullpen, strikes out the first 2 batters he faces.
Yep.
But both times the catcher lost the ball, and Baker has to throw him out at first.
Well, his changeup obviously is with the wind. Baker's having a tough time back here. Watch this. That's a curveball. Gets by him. And Baker makes a nice strong throw to first. And it's not easy when you go to the backstop. Now you're probably throwing almost at the back of the runner. So you have to have the first baseman come across the bag into foul territory.
Zimmerman, a shot to left field. It is foul.
They need some new wood.
Yep. And looking down to the Nationals bullpen, Sean Burnett loosening up, and Tyler Clippard joins him now. We're in the bottom of the 7th in this 2-1 ball game.
Well, there's the breaking ball. You see that beautiful rotation right there. And it just is off the end of the bat. Shatters the bat. So when you get out in front of those change-ups and breaking balls, and they're off the end of the bat, destroys the wood.
And the 0-1 to Zimmerman, quickly 0-2 in the count.
Well, that's where you subtract and then add on velocity. So you subtract down to about 84, and then he speeds it up at 92, and it's makes that fastball look like it's 95, and you have a good change-up or off speed breaking ball.
Tries to tantalize him outside and misses. 30 years of age is Hensley. Came up for the Padres in 05. Up and down the next couple of years. He's ahead in the count to Ryan Zimmerman. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Too much on that changeup. Well, and once again, it goes back to it's a heck of a lot easier to get a shot at the big time. You're going to get some call-ups. The higher up you are in the draft, you're going to get a few shots up at the major league level. But can you stay? Can you put some numbers up and make the adjustments necessary to stay up here?
Zimmerman fouls it back. When you came up,
I was coming up for 2 weeks. They told me Ron Robinson had a bad elbow. You're coming up for 2 weeks. I never went back until I retired. So, you know, and I was a first-round pick through 95. Had all that going, but there's so many numbers in front of me in Cincinnati. They had finished second place 4 straight years. They were I was an afterthought.
Ryan Zimmerman, a fly ball to right field. Peterson coming in. He's got it, and it's a 1-2-3 7th inning for Clay Hensley. We go to the top of the 8th. 2-1 Nats lead.
Happy Mother's Day to every mother out there, and I'll be able to tell my mom happy Mother's Day in person.
And to moms everywhere watching the ball game today, we wish you a happy Mother's Day. Some moms here with us at Nationals Park. There's the numbers: 2-7-0 and 1-5-0. Lebo's day is done, Rob. Another impressive performance.
Yeah, 7 innings strong. The one mistake, a pitch up in the zone to Hanley Ramirez. So 7 innings, 5 hits, a walk and 3 punch-outs. But kept the Marlins off balance all day other than Hanley Ramirez's home run. And exactly what he's been doing. 6 straight starts. He has been spectacular.
110 pitches today, 75 were strikes. He threw 123 against Atlanta, 71 were strikes. He got that win. And he's in line to get this one, which would be number 5. Burnett comes inside and tight to Chris Coughlin leading off the 8th inning.
Well, and his only loss was the shutout at the hands of Ubaldo Jimenez. He was the only one with a better ERA in the National League than Levon. So he's done an exceptional job.
Like a fine wine, just getting better with age. Huh? And that's got some pop of his fastball. 88 there, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tyler Clippard.
5-0 record for Clippard. Got the win last night. Or yesterday. And Burnett comes inside. The count 2-1. Burnett's been kind of lights out coming out of that bullpen. Scoreless relief, 8 of the last 9 appearances. He's come out to the mound. 5 holds as well. A rope up the middle, base hit. As Coughlin leads it off with his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Well, not a good job by Sean Burnett right there. Didn't get the 1 hitter he was supposed to get, and now it's going to be Wes Helms. It's a ringing Clipper.
And Jim Riggleman makes the walk to the mound. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a minute with Washington up 2-1. Same thing happened. Tyler Clippard comes out of the bullpen. He pitched 1 1/3 yesterday, gave up that home run, and still got the win 5-0. But he was, as always, right on his game.
Well, that was the one blemish, was the home run. Obviously, it was huge because there was a man on base, but he stayed in there, got his head together, 3 punch-outs later, and then he turned it over to Matt Capps, 1-inning pitch to strike out, and picks up his 12th save of the season out of 16 wins for the ball club. And right now, the only team in the National League with double figures in saves, Washington Nationals.
Yep, that same combination at work right now. Clippard's on the mound, Capps is in the bullpen. 2-1 Nats lead, top of the 8th, runner on, and nobody out. Helms, Ramirez, and Cantu in order for Florida. And Clippard's first pitch for a strike, 87. Wes Helms fouled out to first, got on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, then struck out looking. 1 of 3 Hernandez strikeout victories today. You had a great line about him last night when you introduced him. The man who's made spectacles fashionable.
Again. Just like Spuds McKenzie, Chris Sabo.
Nice call. Nice,
very nice breaking ball. Strikeout leaders right there in relief. Tyler Clippard right at the top with Takahashi from the Mets. We will get to see Mr. Takahashi tomorrow. They just took a 5-4 lead, took the lead back from the Giants.
Now Hensley's got his 24, struck out 2 last inning.
One thing I like about Tyler, though, he hasn't given up a lot of hits this season, 11 in 23 innings.
Wes Helms takes the pitch, check swing just inside.
Almost a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, 28 Ks and 11 walks. But you got danger lurking on deck.
Yep.
And more danger lurking in the dugout, in the hole. As Jorge Cantu is somewhere down there. He's on the bottom step of the dugout.
Waiting patiently. Foul back out of play. Ball and 2 strikes to Wes Helms, and we Hope you've had yourself a wonderful day. We have here at the ballpark. Happy Mother's Day to all Nats fans, wherever you may be watching. Bob Carpenter off to spend these last 4 days with his family, with his daughter's graduation from college. And so Bob back with Rob tomorrow night. I'll be back with Ray Knight tomorrow night. All is well in Massa.
And I could just tell Ray's going to give you a big old hug, squeeze the life out of you.
Yep. And Bob's going to do the same thing to you. No, you're going to do the same thing to him. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Helms.
I still think I should have carried you out last night.
You know, that was
stage. Yeah, he held up the bat.
Yeah, didn't go across. That would have been funny, wouldn't it? Or would it? Glad we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Now the 2-2 from Clipper. To Wes Helms. A little pop behind second. Base hit. Bernardino can't make the play. Drops in front of him. And the Marlins have got the first 2 runners on in the 8th with nobody out.
Well, it was still a good pitch. Don't change a thing, especially with Ramirez coming up. Challenging with fastballs, good breaking balls, and another jam shot. This is Ramirez's home run in the 6th inning off of Livan Hernandez. Just up in the zone. Coming back in. And hits the sweet part of Hanley Ramirez's bat, and he sends it out to right field. So the only run so far today supplied by number 2. Stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, and got a chance with that tying run at second base. Go ahead, run at first. Rob, how do you pitch to Ramirez if you're Tyler Clipper?
You got to tie his hands up. Well, he goes with the changeup, first pitch. But Livan left that ball up, and even though it was up and out from the middle of the plate out, he extended his arms, and he shows you, just like with Ryan Zimmerman. That's the beauty of Ryan Zimmerman or Hanley Ramirez. When they don't get the bat head out there early enough to pull it for a home run, they're still strong enough to go the other way and hit it into the bleacher seats. And not many right-handers can do that in this league.
And Clipper got him with a fastball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Marlins shortstop flew to left in the 1st, popped out to second in the 3rd, and that solo shot to right center field off Levo is the Marlins' only run. That came in the 6th inning. It's a 2-1 ball game. Coughlin at second. Helms at first.
Nice. Couple of change-ups, and then 94 on that fastball. Maybe the best one I've seen him throw. Right here. Fastball in, and that's what we talk about, tying up the hands. If he had swung at that, he'd be looking for his knuckles.
You got to come inside to him, don't you?
You have to. You have to. And if the changeup, you throw it, it's going to be down way in the dirt. That's not the worst thing in the world either. Another fastball. Doesn't get the call. That was a beautiful pitch.
Well, Tyler thought he had it. Cubs turned around, talking to home plate umpire Jerry Meals. He thought he had it.
No, this is a brutal call right here. This is a strike. On the inner half of the strike zone. But he's your reigning batting average champion.
Yep.
So Meals gives him the benefit of the doubt.
And he has worked the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 delivery. And lost him and loads the bases. Coughlin to 3rd. Helms to 2nd. And Ramirez on the base on balls at first.
Starts him off with a slow curveball in the dirt. Then a changeup for a strike. Then a fastball on the inner half ball. Comes back a little bit better. Then a changeup for ball 4.
So Tyler's given up 2 hits and a walk. Has retired nobody thus far.
Well, he's in a world of trouble now. He needs strikeout pop-up or some kind of just one hopper to his infield.
And there's nowhere to put Cantu. He swings and fouls it back. One time this year, in fact, coming to the ball game a couple of nights ago, Jorge Cantu would hit safely in 21 straight games.
Beautiful fastball up and in on his hands. Following the changeup, and so he's way ahead of Cantu. 0-1 pitch right here. Actually, it was a slider that backed up. Tried to overthrow it, but sometimes that's your best pitch.
And the Marlins first baseman helped Clifford that time.
Yep. So
now the 0-2 with bases loaded, nobody out. Swinging a fly to left, and Willingham is going back. He's got it. The run at third will score. Coughlin tags up. And we've got a tie ball game in the 8th inning. Cantu with the RBI, and it's 2-2.
Well, you can't worry about the walk and pushing those guys from first and second to second and third, but what you can do is get out of this and give your team a chance to win the ball game. So now go back to work, try to roll one over, get a double play. Jim Riggleman's going to go out and now talk to Tyler Clifford about the situation.
You've got Caps in the bullpen. And Jim makes that long stroll out to the mound. One away, not out of this thing yet, with Ugla coming up and Baker to follow him.
Well, and the thing is, Tyler's making some good pitches. I mean, the jam shot by Cantu, not much you're going to be able to do. Excuse me, not Cantu. Helms. So that jam shot was a good pitch up in the zone, but it's a good fastball hitter, and Helms, a strong guy. Still a good pitch. That ball right there was a 0-2 fastball up chest high, and Cantu tomahawked it to left field.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he's making good pitches, and so Jim Riggleman, I don't think, you know, you're not going to bring your closer in to try to get out of this jam right here in the 8th inning, tie ball game. But you go out and you tell your pitcher, your young pitcher, listen, you're doing fine. Try to get you a double play right here, try to get you an out, try to keep that guy at second, whatever you do.
Yeah, that's the 29th RBI for Ugla this year, Cantu this year. Ugla swings and fouls it back, and ahead in the count is Clifford, 0 balls and 1 strike. Ugla today popped out the second, got the base and a fielder's choice in the 4th, and grounded out to Zimmerman at 3rd.
The play that really hurt was the Coughlin hit off of Burnett.
Yes.
You come in, you're coming in to get one guy only. You got to do that job.
And then Helms and Ramirez following with base hits, 3 consecutive.
Right. So, I mean, but, you know, it's much easier if you're Tyler Clifford to face Wes Helms with nobody on base and 1 out than you're already in a jam in a 1-run ball game.
I beg your pardon, Ramirez walked. 3 straight base runners. And it's a 2-1 count to Dan Ugla, the Marlins' second baseman.
Bottom line is you're going for wins. Game is still in your dugout. That's why it's in your favor to have last ups. So right here, you got to try to get out of this jam, which would be doing something, bases loaded, no outs.
And a pop back on a play behind home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dan Ugla. That's with 6 and 3 thus far this year in 1-run ball games. And yesterday was a great one to come from behind to win that one.
Yep. And that was a big deal by Willingham hitting that game-tying home run. That puts you in a situation to win the ball game. And that's the one thing about this year's ball club, the resilience.
I'm sure that Jim Riggleman would love to have a blowout one of these days somewhere along the way.
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen. But the problem is the Marlins have such good pitching. And to just be keeping up with some of these teams' pitching is just, that just shows you the difference in years. What a difference the year makes. Now we're 11th in pitching in the National League.
And the count is full.
Attaboy, great pitch.
So Clifford retires Ugler with a strikeout. His first strikeout.
3-2 slider. 3-2 slider right here. See the little break on it at the end. 88. Ugler not expecting it. And that is just a confident kid out there on the hill to throw that pitch 3-2. That's how you make a living as a reliever. 3-2 sliders and breaking balls and changeups.
And with 2 down, in steps John Baker. With runners at first and second in this 2-2 game. Cody Ross on deck now for the Marlins.
Well, this is no easy out. You talked about how he started the season.
Miserable start. Clifford getting heated up now. 92 in the gun. And the count no balls and 1 strike. Dave Collins coaching down at former teammate of yours, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Down at first base.
Former teammate and longtime coach at the major league level. Wow.
Oh, no, very near. So.
That ball better been low because it was right over the plate. 0-1 pitch right here. Ball's not low. That's a strike. That's just not a good call.
No, it's even at 1-1. Ramirez at first. Helms down at second. Counting ball, slow roller. Kennedy's got 1 play. That's the first. And that's it. So the Nationals go to the bottom of the 8th. Dunn, Willingham, Rodriguez. Coming up. Sixth inning is 7th of the year for the Marlins. Ivan Hernandez today, Rob, outstanding performance with 7 innings. ERA now at 104. And Adam Dunn strolling to the plate as a 3-hit game is 8th for the Nationals.
He's done a great job. Used the whole ballpark today. And later in the game, he would split that side over there. He went to the left side the first at bat with a knock to left. Then he went back there again with another knock that drove in Adam Kennedy, and then one gets by Dan Ugler there. He hustles in for a double. A couple of big singles, a double. And Adam Dunn's mom, Pat, here in the house. Happy Mother's Day.
Like those numbers, 3 for 3, double, 2 singles, RBI. Like to see that home run number change right about now.
No, we need a base runner. We need a base runner right here.
Adam to lead off. Willingham standing off in the on-deck circle. Then Pudge Rodriguez.
There's Mom and Dad.
Yeah. And Hensley heading the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
There is that Hensley changeup.
Adam steps in with a pink bat. No balls, 2 strikes. And 3 pitches, he's gone. Strikeout number 3. Potomac Nationals opening up a 7-game homestand May the 10th. The Peanuts will showcase some of their great promotions, including a belly buster Wednesday, Thursday cheers with dollar drink specials. Call 703-290-5311 to join the party with the Potomac Nationals. Johnny Holiday, Rob Dibble with you from Nationals Park. As the ball club wraps up this homestand and off to the road for New York for 3, Colorado, then St. Louis, before coming back home. And that'll be on the 19th against the Mets. They come in and Baltimore comes down. Job at hand, win this ball game today. Get out of town with a record of 17-14 and nice homestand numbers of 11-8. 1-1 to Willingham. Walked twice, struck out once. And a shot to left. Has it got enough? Yeah! Woo! Bullpen and the Nationals lead 3-2, and Josh Willingham does it again.
2 days in a row.
My goodness.
The hammer.
Touch them all, Mr. Willingham.
And that is into a dead, stiff wind coming in from left field, going left to right.
Home run number 6, RBI number 20, and the Nats have got the lead. How sweet a swing is this?
That boy is strong. Hanging breaking ball right there. He was all over it. Just like yesterday, I guess they didn't watch the video back. You hang it, the hammer will bang it. And that will make sure that Matt Capps comes in for the 9th inning.
Rodriguez with a high fly ball to center. Cody Ross has got that, and there's 1 down, 2 down.
Wow. Just like that.
Over the 377-foot sign. Well, you talk about consistency. Let's look at it one more time.
Hanging breaking ball. Josh Willingham. Short to the ball. Quick, strong forearms, as good as anybody in the game. And man, oh man, that is sweet.
And I'm sure Josh is saying Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. Rick Eckstein right there in front of Josh in that Nationals dugout. 3-2 now in the 8th inning here.
And now, how important was it what Tyler Clippard did there? Bases loaded, no outs, gave up 1 run on the Cantu fly ball, and that was it. It was a great job once again by Tyler Clippard.
Well, they got Roger Bernardino now. And Bernardino 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's got a hit.
Got a base hit today. Yeah.
Yep.
Average up at 214.
Wouldn't mind seeing him pull one down the line or hit one over the center fielder's head. I'd like to see this guy try to get it into Parker. Here's the capper.
They don't play him very deep either, do they?
No, they don't. They don't. And he's got some pop. Down at AAA, he was scorching the ball.
And he fouls it back. Now to play. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matt Capps, the Major League saves leader, 12 for 12. Coming on to shut things down in the 9th inning.
See, the way technology is, too, today, though, Johnny, I mean, you know what this guy did in AAA. You've got the scouting reports. You have scouts down there scouting everybody. So you know, okay, this guy had such and such home runs. He had so many doubles, hit whatever he hit the last 2 weeks. So if you're a young hitter, they're not going to just sit there and pepper you with fastball after fastball. They're going to see if you could hit a slider, hit an off-speed changeup, see how you like it to be pounded in on your hands.
Well, he had 47 home runs in the minor leagues.
He can hit. This kid can, just like Justin Maxwell. I mean, a lot of these guys can hit at the lower level. But up here, the one difference is a lot of these guys have good off-speed stuff, and they use it, and they try to exploit you.
Bernardino, slow roll to the third. Top play for West Hounds. Base hit for Roger Bernardino. His 2nd of the ball game.
We'll take it.
Yep. And Roger 2 for 4 today.
Off the end of the bat. Great pitch by Hensley right here. Off the end of the bat. Look at that thing. Cute shot. Out in front of the plate. Grown man hit that. It's called a swinging bunt, and Wes Helms goes, well, I got one of those today, but I'm not going to get that one out with that kid's speed.
Jorge Cantu and Bernardino talking it over at first base, like saying, you kidding me?
He's like, dude, I hit the heck out of one to left field. All I got was a sac fly RBI, and you got a hit right there. You hit it about 20 feet.
Ian Desmond will try to keep things going here in the Nationals' 8th inning with a home run for Josh Willingham.
And this kid's got 2 infield hits today. One was an excuse me hit down third base line. Another one deep in the hole. Shortstop.
2 for 3. And the count, 1 ball, no strikes to Ian Desmond.
A double right here would be a massive insurance run.
Always like your chances, though, when you got a guy like Caps coming out of that bullpen. How about 72 of 77 career saves? Matt's worked exactly 1 inning. This will be hopefully 73 of 78 this next inning. And Bernardino's got some speed, and Hensley concerned about that a little bit. Nationals 3-9-0. The Marlins 2-7-0. And the 1-1. Bernardino going. Baker's thrown to second. He's got him stolen easily.
He bobbled it. Once Baker bobbled the ball, he had no shot.
So a stolen base for Roger Bernardino. That is his 4th of the year.
Well, he's quick. He gets a great jump right there off Hensley. Hensley got it there quick. But once Baker, you'll see him juggle it right there. That little juggle. And he knew it.
No shot.
All right, now just a base hit. Plates you a huge 4th run in this game.
And a check swing and did not go through. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Nats shortstop.
Well, Baker did a nice job trying to steal a strike right here. Let's see if he goes around. Well, it was close, but John Baker ran right out there, tags him, checks with the first base umpire. No go.
1 for 2 against the Fish on Friday night. Didn't actually. Craig yesterday got hit by a pitch and swing of the miss, and Desmond is gone. But 1 swing of the bat for Josh Willingham. Home run number 6 has put the Nationals up 3-2 as we head to the top of the 9th. And in comes Matt Capps. And complete reaction from the clubhouse. It should be a very happy Nationals clubhouse, Rob.
Well, still got to get 3 outs, Johnny.
3 outs away.
3 outs away.
And Kennedy moves over to first base for Washington.
Alberto Gonzalez goes over to second base.
Okay. And there's Gonzalez taking over the duties as second.
Double out Gonzo.
And Willie Taveras will go to left field. After Josh hits the home run, let's sit down and enjoy the ninth.
You make it sound so easy.
Yeah, it is from up here.
It is from up here. The guy standing on that bump, your mind is racing, your heart is pumping.
Caps. Wow. 2 balls and no strikes. To Cody Ross leading off the Marlins ninth.
See where this pitch is. That's a little low.
A swing and a miss. And the count is 2 balls and a strike.
Oh, it looks like he got a little help from Ross on this swing.
Nobody in Major League Baseball, nobody has more saves than Matt Capps. 12 for 12. One down. So Ross flying to Taveras. Talk about guys having some success right there, Rob. Clippard and Capps, I'd say so.
Yep, Clipp's run into a few problems lately, but he's still doing a solid job. Capps has just been fantastic.
5 wins for Tyler. And he'll face Brian Peterson. 0 for 3, flew out back in the 7th. Capps wasting no time doing the work. This is outside. That comes out of the bullpen. His ERA 1.04.
It's tough to keep running guys out there every day, though, Johnny.
Yeah.
You're going to need some pitchers to go 7, 8 innings sometimes. Throw a complete game every now and then. There's Steve McCaddy.
And that's been Jim Bergelman's main focus of pointing out in most of his post-game conversations with the media. Somebody's got to help us. A high fly to center field. That's playable. Elijah Morgan's got it, and there's 2 down in the 9th inning. And Matt Capps 1 out away from another win, another save.
And, Johnny, it's not just Tyler Clippard and Capps. It's Bruni and everybody in front of them. Tyler Walker. I mean, you need 5, 6 guys now in that bullpen to all be doing a good job and being consistent.
It's Bruni, it's Walker, it's Clippard, it's Capps, it's Burnett, Batista, Slayton, all these guys. Gabby Sanchez will pinch hit and try to keep something going for the Marlins. 2 outs, 3-2 Nationals. In the 9th inning, strike 1. Josh Willingham, triple that yesterday, and a home run yesterday to tie it. And today, his home run to perhaps win it, and it will. A ground to the second. Gonzalez Kennedy. Game over. Woo! Nationals take another series, another 1-run victory, and they beat the Florida Marlins the final 3-2.
Well, Johnny, just like yesterday, Josh Willingham tied it yesterday. Go ahead, run, home run. Clay Hensley left the ball up, and the hammer got all of it for his 6th home run. None bigger than that one right there, Johnny, for the 4th drive of the game.
That it was, and the Nationals win it. The final is 3-2, 3-9-0, 2-7-0 here at Nationals Park.